Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. As you can see, it's what's in Spanish, but this means in search of the fire. You know, and whether you're watching in Spanish or English, it don't really matter because they're not saying nothing, man. And you know, it's best known actually as Quest for Fire. It's best known actually as Quest for Fire. And this movie best represents the so-called white man, Esau Edom. Okay? Esau Edom is a so-called white man according to the Bible. Alright? Now I was trying to do some just go into a little bit of research, going into who is Esau Edom. Reading that book, which is a good book, goes into the Khazars, who are the so-called Jews today. And where they stem from, how they came into our history, how they came to be called Jews, which they're really Edomites. All right. And when you go into the history, you're gonna find that they said they came from the Neanderthals, and then you look up the Neanderthals, and they say that they were extinct, and they send you all over the world, man. All right, and that's why the Lord said, "What? I will give thee pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." Jeremiah 3:15. All right, so Esau Edom. All right, would you find a number of videos with brothers? Let me see. Caucasian cave dweller, because it's a known fact that the word Caucasian, we could even look it up. I think I did look it up. Let me see. Caucasian. White skin of European origin relating to the Caucasus. All right. And we know that the real Europeans were so-called were dark men. All right. The real Europeans were dark men, man. All right. But then you had a certain period of time where these Edomites under this guy Alexander the Great, they call him Alexander the Great. All right. He came up as the Grecians and conquered Europe, man. That's why they're known as what? The Europeans today. All right. And then after the Greeks, all right, because even before the before the Greeks, you had what so-called dark people ruling, man. Which they weren't. You had so-called dark people ruling, man. The Medo-Persians, the Babylonians, the Assyrians. All right. And then afterwards, well, you had the Greeks, the Romans. All right. Then, the scriptures speak about how a short period of time, which I'm going to grab that, Revelations 20. I brought it on my last lesson, but I'm going to bring it out again, man. Revelations 21, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. Talking about Septimius Severus, man, which was a Jake, all right, who ruled during the fall of the Holy Roman Empire. All right, because you had two parts. You had the Eastern Roman Empire, and then you have the Western Roman Empire, man. The Eastern Roman Empire fell before the Western Roman Empire, all right, which is known as the Byzantine Empire, where Jake ruled for 1,000 years. All right, so it's just having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. All right, that bottomless pit is Europe, man, because they didn't have any resources. He laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. The so-called white man is Esau. The so-called white man is also known as the old serpent, the devil, and Satan, because he's adverse to the Heavenly Father. All right. And bound him 1,000 years and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. And, the Spirit had led me to this, just thinking about it. And you try to look into Esau's history, he'll give you a whole bunch. He'll give you the runaround, man. Like I said, one thing will tell you he goes back to the Neanderthals. All right, and he'll give you a runaround, man. I was trying to look it up on Wikipedia. Let me see. Caucasian race. Since the Caucasian race is a grouping of human beings historically regarded as a biological taxon, which depending on which of the historical race classification used have usually included some or all of the ancient and modern populations of Europe, the Caucasus, Asia Minor, North Africa, the Horn of Africa, Western Asia, Central Asia, and South Asia. Because what Esau likes to do is he'll tell you the truth with a lie, man. So when you read into it, like certain parts of it is actually true. Um, let's see. The term denotes of three purported major races of humankind: Caucasoid, Mongoloid, Negroid, and biological anthropology. Just skip. Ancient and modern Caucasoid populations were thus held to have range in complexion from white to dark skin, dark brown, which is a lie. Since the second half of the 20th century, physical anthropologists, see, like I said, they give you the runaround, then they give you a little bit of truth. In the United States, the root term Caucasian has also often been used in a different societal context as a synonym for white or of European ancestry. Its usage in American English has been criticized. Let's look up the etymology. The traditional anthropological term Caucasoid is a conflation of the demonym Caucasian and the Greek suffix meaning form, shape, resemblance, implying a resemblance to the native inhabitants of the Caucasus, the Caucasus Mountains, man, over there in Georgia, Russia. It is in its usage as Slovakia. In its usage as a racial category, it contrasts with the terms Negroid, Mongoloid, and Australoid. See, it says they also possess slightly more Neanderthal genes than modern populations in Europe. So they're gonna give you a runaround, man. But in short, they're the so-called they are the Edomites according to the scriptures, man. All right. It says in cast. I'm gonna just keep reading this. In short, Esau Edom is the Edomites, man. The so-called white man is the Edomites, man. All right. Their characteristics that they're cunning hunters. They're red. All right, which means that their skin shows forth through their body. I meant their blood shows forth through their skin. All right, they're hairy, very hairy. All right, which people you might argue that and say, well, Indians are hairy. All right, you might argue that and say, well, Indians are hairy, man. But that's why it goes into more specific characteristics of him being a cunning hunter. That's why it goes into more specific characteristics of him being a cunning hunter. All right, that's why you got these TV shows like Wild Man and stuff like that on Nat Geo, where it's always an Edomite going into Africa. Oh, it's another good one brothers gotta watch. It's called Naked and Afraid. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Where Esau goes into the wilderness, like Africa. I like watching the ones with Esau in it, man. It's like he goes into the wilderness, like Africa, where he'll stay with nothing but probably like a knife. All right, and after a while, you see how his beard grows. You know what I'm saying? He's real. He's back in his natural state. Then you watch Quest for Fire. You be like, damn, that looked just like him. And they actually they living amongst lions and tigers. You know what I'm saying? Gotta find their own food, stuff like that. I think it's a good show. Hey, look, that might be. It look like a devil right here, man. A cave dweller. Esau Edom goes back to the caves, man. All right. So it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. Because when Esau is put out of power, deceit is gonna be put out of power, man. Everybody's gonna know who they are, man. Like the Apostle Bar, who goes into the covering cast. That he should deceive the nations no more. Him being the devil, all he does is deceive. Till the 1,000 years shall be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. Oh, another thing I had wanted to harp on too is when you look up like that picture where it shows how man evolves from monkeys, that's Esau Edom, man. This one, hold on, let me see if I just seen it. I can't find it anymore. This one, you know, and they like to say this is all men, but no, this is Esau, man. Which Esau didn't come from a monkey neither, you know. But he tried to justify the way he looks, man. You know, which that was him, man. Back in it, like you say, you watch that movie Quest for Fire, and it will show you how Esau used to live, man. All right, and we know that to be true based on the scriptures, man. This is Job chapter 30, verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. All right, talking about Esau Edom. All right, whose fathers I will have disdain to have set with the dogs of my flocks. Cause I work around Esau, man, and they be joking around about that shit. They be acting like they do, man. But Esau sleep with his dogs, man. You know, hey, the brother, the brother, GMS Show the Faith goes into that, of how Esau is, Edomite woman has a video where, she's streaming or doing a video while her dog is eating her out. All right, and that's bestiality, man, according to the scriptures. And that beast and that person is supposed to be put to death. So that's just another reason why Esau Edom has to be taken out of power. Yeah, where too might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fling into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. That movie Quest of Fire, man. Oh, let me see something real quick. Maybe I could read this and play that movie at the same time. You know what? I kind of don't be wanting to play the movies and stuff. Yeah, I'm just allow brothers to watch it. Because you know how Esau is with playing movies, man. So it says, for want and famine, they were solitary. Maybe I can give brothers a, 1 second, Salakia. I know I'm going back and forth, but I'm trying to give brothers like a good, something good to see as I read it. Let's see, Job 30. It's funny. Alright. Just a few pictures. It shows you how Esau was driven forth from among men, man, over there in the Caucasus Mountains, man. Showed you how he lived, showed you how he was uncouth, as when you go into like that the definition of the Neanderthals. You know, when you call somebody Neanderthal, that's actually a insult. This is Esau, man. No laws, just a wild beast. It says Job chapter 30, verse 3. For one family they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. And that's what Esau dwells at, man. He enjoys it, man. He enjoys dwelling amongst the clefts of the rocks, man. You know, that's why brothers go into the let me see if I can find it. The Mount Petra. Over there in Mount Seir. And this is how Esau living today, man. You look in White House. You know what I'm saying? You look at a lot of these big executive, these court systems, these big executive buildings that Esau pushes their laws upon. Look, the brothers put this together. Mount Seir and these different Edomite kingdoms, man. Spain, Greece, Rome, France. This is how Esau was moving, man. This is how he still moves. To the well in the clefts of the valleys and caves of the earths and in the rocks. Among the bushes they bewrayed. Under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, the children of base men. They were viler than the earth, and they still are, man. You know? So Esau's about to be taken out of the way, man. Alright? But yeah, it's just, like a quick hit. This is, who is Esau Edom, man? I'm gonna name it that. Who is Esau Edom? Alright? This is Esau Edom right here, man. You know? The wicked, the devil, that old serpent, Esau Edom, man. You know? Hey, before I go, actually, I'm gonna get that in Genesis 25. And just to give brothers some characteristics on Esau, man. Genesis 25, verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. What's that word Esau in the Hebrew is Ishashua. Ishash mean wasted, and was he. So wasted is he. You know? Just like when you go into the Numbers 12, Moses basically asked the Lord, like, because the Most High turned Miriam leprous, it's basically turn her skin like one dead, let not her be as one dead, and that's how Esau looked, man. That's why he calls himself a white man. There's nothing white about him, man. He's wasted away. All right. All other nations on the earth have pigmentation, but Esau Edom. And after that, came his brother out, and his hand took hold on. Came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. All right, and that's Esau Edom today, like I got into before. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.